Hi everyone, I'm Evangeline and I'm from China. And the article that I choose is about the evidence from East Asia and North America for acculturated effects on virtual representation preference. And there are four interview questions that I listed. The first one is, where are you from? It sounds foolish, but it's like a very important point because the whole article is just like a comparison of the cultural diversity. So so it's it seemed like very like normal and great start point for an interview, isn't it? Okay, so in the second question is kind of like a introduction of my theme of my interview because it requires interviewers' personal experience, and it also relates to some content in the article. Like the article mentions some like human-like and cartoon-like for the virtual self, and I also asked my interviewees about their preference about this two kind of virtual self, and the third and fourth question are completely related to the statement of the article, which is cultural influence of virtual self. And according to my own experience in my high school, and there a bunch of my classmates are obsessed with video games, and even sometimes after school or on weekend, and someone just send a message that let's play around on WeChat group or social media stuff like that, and everyone just join the game, and even though we do not like exactly face to face while we are playing the game, but according to the virtual self, which is virtual self, and the way they talk and the way they act, or even the dress code of the virtual self, we'll kind of know who they are, because those kind of stuff are kind of like similar to themselves in reality. Yeah, so tomorrow I will interview maybe three or two peoples, and I'm so curious about their answers because I'm so agree with the statement in the article. So see you tomorrow. Okay, by the way, about the game that I mentioned before, it's actually a Chinese video game, so I do not know like exactly English name for that, but if I like directly translated it, it will be like King's Glory, stuff like that. It might sound weird, but yeah, that's it. So basically, the game is just like two teams and play against each other, and which team could like kill the another team first, and they will be the winner. Yeah. So yeah, during this process, you can kill like monsters or some weird stuff that you met, and you can kill them. And yeah, that's what the game is basically. And yeah, my point is just your group members, your team members, you have to like group them up yourself. So yeah, that's the point that I mentioned. Just want to like emphasize that.
Hi everyone. I just interviewed three MSc students, and two of them are from United States, and one of them is from China. And because I want to like make a comparison between two different cultural backgrounds, and I also asked them to take a video to introduce what their names and where they're from, and it's kind of like relate to the content of article. So but one of the girl, I forgot to take that video, but never mind because I recorded the voice. So now let's get to know them.
My name is Colin Randall, and I'm from northern Michigan.
My name is Zhao Jiahui. I'm from China.
Hi, through my interview for three students, and I find out two very interesting and impressive points for me. And the first very like interesting point is like I interviewed two Americans, and they both said they prefer to use cartoon-like virtual self, and I interviewed one Chinese, and he said he preferred to use human-like virtual self, which is completely contradict with the content of article. So, but for me, as in Chinese, I think I prefer to use cartoon-like, because games for fun and cartoon design are for fun. So they're kind of like same. So it's kind of interesting. The second very impressive point for me comes from one of the two guys, and I forgot which one, and he said games comes from life and always higher than life. And I completely agree with this statement, because I think it's just fantastic, because I think we could understand this statement in two ways. First way, as every game designs a game, they have to follow the very basic rule of life in order to make sense, whether the situations, the characters, or the trend of stories. It have to make sense. It have to follow the basic rule of life. And the second way to understand it is game comes from life, which is come from our surroundings. What is our surroundings? Our cultures define our surroundings. So one person could only grow up under one culture. It's kind of hard to grow up under two cultures. What do you think? I think it's really hard. It's nearly impossible. It's like kind of like a shift between two cultures. It's impossible. And this kind of specific culture will sometimes define our mind. Our mind will lead us to what is right and what is wrong, and based on our culture, based on our tradition. So this is kind of like a formation of preference. It's just like when you walk on the street and you see the dress code of others, and you will say, that's pretty, and you will dress code same, and you will dress like the same with them. And yeah, I think this is just my point, and I think that's related to the article point. What do you think? I hope you could get my point. Thank you for watching.